God loves you when you're dancing, loves you when you're smiling, even when you're singing a little bit off key. Every sun rising is another song playing, just a little something to get you on your feet. God loves you when you're dancing.
If I really step back from everything I've been doing over the last couple of years, it's kind of amazing that I'm making a living writing songs and playing music, and it's almost so much of a dream come true that it's painful to talk about. I remember going to concerts and I would cry at concerts. It felt so far away. It felt like something, man, I would die to do that. I would love to be doing that every night. I moved to Nashville, I guess about 9 years ago, after growing up in North Carolina and then in Maryland. I was, that kid who stayed up late and listened to the top 10 at 10 and then flipped to the country station and listened to the top 11 at 11 on the other channel. My parents had a band when I was a kid. Every now and then would let me work something up with them, some old Emmylou or something I had tried to write, that my mom would help me work out. It just kind of came naturally out of that. I always loved songs. I always had a song that I would, every time it came on the radio, it was my favorite song, and I would go out and I'd buy the cassette single. Well, I was in a band in high school, kind of a rock band, and there were 9 of us. It was huge, and we were all about production and big grand themes and things like that, and it was awesome. It was this really important thing to me where I realized, how powerful music can be, not only within a group of people, but for an audience. We were the band at our high school.
Watch it go and leave the best love you ever knew. Watch it go and stomp the heart that beat for you. Tell me what was going on inside of your head. You were out on the town when you should have been home instead. I'm sick and tired of you. You're nothing but a serial fool. I'm talking to myself again. My mistakes, each and every little sin that made him walk away. As if my tears were not enough, I repeat the obvious, just in case it isn't sinking in. I'm talking to myself again.
As soon as I got out of college, I started waiting tables, knowing that I really wanted the bulk of my energy to go towards writing songs and trying to get kind of further along that path. I made a couple of independent records, and my second independent record was kind of floating around town, and I got a little bit of feedback from an A&R guy. He said, "You're a great writer, why aren't you writing more? Why aren't you co-writing? Why aren't you doing the writer thing in town?" And it had just never occurred to me to write with other people, or that there was kind of a procedure to go about being a songwriter. I was just writing songs. And I think ultimately it's about kind of learning the rules so that you know how to break them effectively as a writer. And also, because there are so many great writers in this town, it's made me so aware of really taking my songs to that next level. They can't be just good enough that I want to sing them.
I'm talking to myself again. I'll admit it's tempting, alluring, inviting me to stay, and I have been reckless, careless, thoughtless with the way I've kissed your soft lips, your fingertips.
It's definitely the case that a lot of people in Nashville go, "Oh, well, you're either really a writer or you're really a performer. You can't really be both." And I always, raised my Dolly Parton flag and wave it around. I had to sort out a little bit the difference between what I do as a writer and what I do as a performer. But in the last few years, I feel like, I have sorted it out, and it really becomes a matter of, once I've written a song, really treating it like any song I would learn as a singer and as a performer. So they're kind of separate things, you know. I write, and and then if a song makes it into my live show and becomes something I want to share with people, I really try to approach it like a performer. Like how would I bring this to an audience? I try to capture something that's real to me so that other people feel it, and it's kind of a bridge. I mean, to me, that's one of the most, beautiful parts of songwriting and performing, is that you build these connections that you might not have something really in common with somebody if you would sit down with them, but there's a universal song that touches on something that everybody can really relate to, and it's a really beautiful thing.
You got a little mischief in your smile.
I grew up on country music, and it's really ingrained within me, but it seems really important now to me because it's so simple. It's deceptively simple. It speaks so simply and honestly about such important topics like family and, relationships and connections to other people. And so to me, it seems like a really powerful time for country music. I think people are looking for authenticity and looking for integrity in art that is also accessible, and here comes country music.
I'm in big trouble now.
Why on earth would you try to be a songwriter? It's a crazy thing to do. I mean, most people that try to do it aren't really successful, and but I have to do it. I'm so moved by it, and it's the only thing that's ever felt that important to me, that I have to do it.
I can be the party doll in all your fantasies. I can play the princess, the temptress, or the tease. I can be your little girl, rock your little world, kneel down at your feet, so simple and sweet. That might be all you're looking for, but you could have so much more if you're man enough to love a woman. Complicated, not afraid to face the mess true love can be. Are you man enough to love a woman? Are you man enough to love me? A woman is a rough ride, she's a never-changing wind. Rock solid with a soft side, she's a strong tide rolling in. She needs a man she can believe in, rolling up her sleeves and digging in deeper. A man who can complete her. Is that something you